Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. So, quick reminder, this series is, as far as I'm concerned, effectively done. I don't really foresee anything particularly interesting happening in the next 11-ish years. I am going to go ahead and say this though real quick. I'm going to go ahead and call the Google form that I had running for determining who I would play as next time. And the reason for that is quite simply that I don't foresee that changing at all. So see if I can pull it up so I can maybe give exact numbers, but I already know that Brazil won by quite a bit. It's just a question of how much, and honestly it's not that big of a deal, at least not to me. But yeah, if I remember, I'll toss something up on screen maybe, or post it in a comment. But either way, we're going to go ahead and call it. We are going to be playing as Brazil for my next Victoria 2 series when that begins. I don't know when that'll begin, but whenever that begins, we'll play as Brazil. Let's go ahead and let me get my timer started. And let's go ahead and begin. Now, we have 11 years left. I figure we'll probably typically get through maybe 4 or 5 years, depending a little bit on how slow or how fast we go, which is mostly dependent upon if anything interesting happens. Ah, shit. Bunch of German fascists. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot. But yes, as I was saying, so depending upon exactly how often I pause for things like this, and just other things like being in a war or whatever, things that cause me to play a little bit slower. Depending on how many of those happen, I figure we probably typically get through maybe 4 or 5 years without that. So in theory, we've got like maybe one more part, is my guess. I don't actually know how accurate that 4 to 5 years per part thing is. That's honestly just a guess, and it's mostly just a number I'm pulling out of my ass. So I don't know really how accurate it is, if at all. But I'm hopeful that it's not super far off. It just may not be completely accurate. And somebody's not getting their infantry. Or, well, whatever it is they're missing. I'm assuming it's infantry. I don't know why. I didn't pay attention to what the thing said that we lost. All I know is we lost something. Go ahead and take care of all this. You know, in theory, I can go ahead and have my border guys take care of at least some of this. You were the guy who lost something, and that would appear to have been cavalry. Let's go ahead and get you some cav. Okay, nothing there, and nothing here. Ottoman fascists have occupied large portions of Africa, or rather Ottoman Africa. There's a couple of Ottoman communists mixed in there, but it's almost entirely fascists that have occupied territory there. Something about Bosnia. Of course, we're not doing anything to the Bosnians. There's no reason to suspect that. We're probably going to see, we might see Romania form. Actually, no, we wouldn't, would we? Would Romanian pan-nationalists be able to form Romania when... I don't think they would, because Serbia had Yugoslav pan-nationalists before, and it was only in their territory, so nothing happened. They changed government type and that was it. That same thing should happen here in Romania. Or excuse me, Moldavia. Yeah, we might actually... We could potentially see the Russians go fascist, which is surprising because typically they go communist in my experience. That's the way this stuff tends to play out. But yeah, they've got a decent amount on our border. And they've occupied some territory. Bulgaria, are you not going to deal with your little communist issue over there? In Dobruja? Really? You're just going to let them take your land? Okay, fine. You do you, Bulgaria. I'm going to go ahead and build up Wallachia. Okay, Spain is down to 10th place. Who's in 9th, out of curiosity? 2 Sicilies, and they're about 200 points behind Italy. And now we get Jacobins, because, of course, you can't have just fascists. You gotta have a little bit of everything. So here we go again. And this is going to be our issue for pretty much the rest of the game, really. I don't really foresee it changing at all. The game is, from this point forward, basically going to revolve around uprisings that I have to put down, that then eventually have more uprisings anyway, because, you know, you can't ever have peace. Yeah, change of plan. I'm gonna have you guys go to Dunkirk. Actually, Dunkirk's probably not the best place. Amiens, because that actually has a naval base. Okay, and we got some Austrian anarcho-liberals down in Africa, in Upper Egypt, spawning inside of my satellite. So they will have to march through my satellite's territory to get to the Suez, to then occupy the Suez, or at least try to. Or not. They're going to magically disappear because the game said, oh, whoops, wrong country. At least I'm assuming that's why they disappeared. There's interventionism. Or not interventionism, whatever it's called. Well, it is interventionism, but more diplomatic influence. I mean, that's more education efficiency, which, I mean, we're already sitting at a 92, almost 93% literacy rate. And still have quite a bit of time left to go. Yeah, actually, no. Screw it. Let's see if we can get to 100% literacy. I don't think we will. I really don't. Even with education kicked up to 100% funding. I mean, I guess I could maybe do it if I figure out where my literacy is lacking. And then toss... use national focuses to encourage more clergymen there. Suppose, in theory, it's possible for us to get it up just a little bit more. Oh, never mind. Looks like we got some of those Austrian narco-liberals spawned in our actual territory. I didn't realize. When I said go to, the game only took me down to Africa, so I figured that's where they were. But apparently, no, some of them were actually up here. Not a whole lot. Mostly because they realized, what is an Austrian anarcho-liberal in Grossdeutschland? Doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, does it? So, yeah, that's a thing. Let's... So sadly, these Belarusian nationalists that do exist alongside these Russian fascists aren't going to go very far. Oh. There are apparently some Romanian pan-nationalists that have made their way into Russia, although they are currently occupying territory that goes to the Ukraine, not Romania, but, I mean, you know, close enough, right? You know, it's one country over. I think they'll live. Something about the United States of Central America. I frankly don't give a damn. And I don't really want the extra infamy for it, so I really don't give a damn. Let's see, how's our... I know we had to make a change to our policies last time. I don't actually recall what it was. I think we went to free press. But it's been a couple of weeks now, so I don't actually recall specifically what it was. I don't know where that country is, and I don't care enough to do anything about it. Are you guys gonna make me deal with the rebels myself? I can't, actually. You give me military access? No. Why? Because of my infamy. And also because you're in somebody else's sphere. The game's playing when Johnny comes marching home in the background as the music track for this. I mean, Persia can easily deal with theirs. And I mean, realistically, so can Bulgaria. They just, you know, gotta wake up and march out of Sofia. But they can't do that, apparently. Oh, Serbia is in my sphere. For some reason, I thought Serbia was in Scandinavia's sphere, but apparently I clicked on Wallachia, I guess, thinking I was clicking on Serbia at one point. After I had checked to see if I could get military access through Wallachia, because I could have sworn I checked Serbia as well. And I honestly could have sworn it said that they were gonna say no. And they were, but I mean, it was no for a different reason. Really? Bulgaria? Thank you. I shouldn't have to ask you for military access. That should be something you just give me. And there's some Yugoslavian pan-nationalists in Ottoman territory. Is that a Yugoslav core? No, it is not. They are down one region. They gotta go north just a little. Where the hell did you come from? And who are you? Oh, Romanian pan-nationalists. God damn it, Romania. I was willing to let you do your thing, but apparently you decided, no, we don't want to be able to do our... So you decide to march into my territory, and that means I have to kill you, I'm afraid. This is just build support for the party, and that nonsense. Come on, Romania. That has a Romanian core. If you march into it... Oh, And Moldavia has gone fascist, apparently. I don't know when that happened. I swear they were not fascist just a little while ago. But now they are. So, that's the thing that happened. But, yeah, you should probably go and try and attack that Russian Empire arm. Well, maybe not. You need to siege that if you want to have any real hope of enforcing your demands for Romanian nationalism. Or for an independent Romanian state, rather. And that's currently occupied by Russian fascists. So never mind. It might actually be better for you to let the Russians siege that back, and then you swoop in afterwards and take it. There the fascists go again, attempting to gain party support by... Oh, yeah, no, those guys are dead. Okay, we're probably not going to see a fascist Russia. Unless they have some really big support somewhere else. And here we go again, even more. The game is really trying to make us go fascist. Which, let's be honest here, doesn't seem particularly likely to occur, in part because of the fact that, you know, we won 2 or was it 3 Great Wars? I think it was 2. I'm only recalling 2, but there might have been 3. But like I said, I'm only recalling 2. Okay, so West Fallon. Here it is. They are almost entirely composed of laborers, making up almost 50%. Laborers fall into the poor category, so we'll live with 20 more, or the middle strata becoming 20% more fascist. That I think we can live with a little bit easier than some of the other options. Okay, and the Yugoslavian pan-nationalists have decided to start sieging Serbia's territory again. Now, I will say this, at least in my opinion. I can understand why Serbia is taking the territories occupied by the Serb communists, but the Yugoslavian pan-nationalists, I don't think they should attempt to stop. They should just kind of let those guys go, do their thing, stay out of their way. They won't, but I think they should. Also, I'm going to take care of their problem for them. Because, you know, I don't really want to have a Yugoslav nation on my borders. It potentially had its uses when there was, Albanian nationalists. Those guys I will let do their thing. Sokoto is asking for an alliance. Oh, you're not in the Scandinavian sphere for some reason right now, but no, I'm not giving you an alliance. And French fascists and communists are fighting over Africa. It looks like the fascists are currently in the lead. Oh, actually, okay, the Belarusian nationalists have actually managed to occupy some territory. I don't know if it's territory that'll really get them what they're hoping for. No, it won't. They're a little too far east from the looks of it. Oh, good. Okay, that's good. It's Ireland having some rebel problems, not me. I didn't have a uprising in my army stationed in Ireland. Let's see, are those Albanian nationalists... So Albania may gain their independence, which they've never done in any of my test runs. Even when the Ottomans don't have a way of getting an army to over here unless they put them on a ship. Okay, so those Romanian pan-nationalists have decided to apparently attempt to take out Wallachia, and they failed miserably. Also, Moldavia proceeded to stop the Romanian pan-nationalists that would have united their country into one. It may not necessarily have been under the leadership of either of these countries directly, or whoever's currently in charge, but, you know, would have been a bigger, more powerful country, and probably would do them a whole hell of a lot better than it currently does. We can get a place in the Sun CB on Spain, which would get us a quick war with the UK potentially. Is there anything I would care to take from Portugal? Because I don't think they really have much of a colonial empire. Yeah, they got a little bit in Africa still. Somewhat surprisingly. I guess nobody really cared to go and stop them. I could take Dili, or however it's pronounced, from them and have some territory out in the Pacific. Could take Goa for an Indian. Holy crap, 77% fascist. Maybe I don't want Goa, thank you very much. Actually, are you fascist? No. I'm assuming you're making real good use of your Prussian constitutionalism to kick the fascists out every time they succeed, or your policies don't allow the fascist party to hold office. At least not as the ruling party. And I think that has to do with trade unions. I believe at some point here in trade unions, or maybe... No, I think it is trade unions. It does allow parties like the communists and the fascists to take power, the more extreme ends of the spectrum. Because, yeah, we could put the Socialist Party in charge if we wanted to. None of their policies are beneficial to me, though, of course, so we are not going to do that. So I can gain some jingoism and militancy, or I can lose opinion with Portugal and then just never press the CB, because honestly I don't think it's worth it. We would win very easily. It's just I don't really care for it, and also our infamy is already pretty high, so yeah, screw it. We'll tell them whatever to get the CB, and then we're just not going to press it. Really no point. I just don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't be able to really get anything for it. The biggest thing I would love to do would be able to force the UK to give up Scotland, but I can't do that. That would take me way too high on infamy, and I'd have even worse rebel problems than I already do. Romanian Sabotage. Let's conduct a real investigation. Because obviously that's the way this is supposed to work. Go. Like I said, at this point we can kind of... There we go. Albania gained their independence. Also, Albania, welcome to the fold. Because it's time to add you. Really? Come on, Romania, or Albania. You know you want an alliance with me. I'm literally the only person in your neck of the woods that will be able to help you. Okay, now placing the Sun CB against the Ottomans is slightly more useful. Or not necessarily useful, but interesting as a concept. So I could take Libya or Tripoli. I'm a little more inclined to go, I think, for Tripoli. If only because it has oil. But if I wanted more coastline, Libya is the better option. If I do this, it gets me a war with Italy, who I don't give two craps about. Okay, but let me read this, because I see something about Operation German Fury, which just sounds interesting. So a colonial regiment in one of our colonies has had an encounter with a regiment from another colonial power, which had, according to a military report, crossed into our colonial claim on an obscure waterway a fair distance into the colony's hinterland. The report further goes on to state that this foreign regiment was, when encountered by our patrol, in the process of conducting a geological survey of the area. the object of which is yet unknown to us. Hawkish members of our war cabinet see this as a direct assault on the German Empire's territorial integrity and call for the execution of a plan they have termed quite simply Operation German Fury. Which, honestly, it's a stupid name. It really is. But nonetheless, I saw it and I wanted to see what the hell the story was about. Because, honestly, some of these, excuse me, some of these events I've never really bothered reading. Also, they have quite a bit of fascist and reactionary support in Tripoli. Same in Libya as well. You know, the fascists really have grown in a lot of these countries. Some of them, it's because they've lost core territories. To my understanding, your fascist support really increases quite a bit when you've lost core territory. So Italy doesn't own all of their Italian cores, and so they have a lot of fascism there. So it's not quite surprising that their party is the fascist party. The Ottomans also are observing a somewhat similar thing, where they've lost Bulgaria, they've lost quite a bit of territory in Greece. Although they don't actually have cores in Greece, so never mind, that's not as much of an issue there. Then what, it's mostly just Albania, a little bit of Serbia, that's really causing them problems apparently? Okay. But I'm going to take this one, and you know what? A quick war. It really would be a quick war. How much time do I got left in my timer? 4 minutes. Okay, well definitely that 4 to 5, or that 4 to 5 thing that I was thinking of is definitely going to be wrong. It's closer to 3 or 4. Depending a little bit. Let's see. You know, honestly, I think 2 armies is probably overkill for this. We'll do just 2. It's overkill. But, you know, it's better than underkill. So let's go ahead and declare the war. I'm going to take... Oh, is that not a... Oh, I can't do place in the sun for Tripoli. Damn you, game. Okay. I can not do Palestine. I can do Lebanon. Do I want Lebanon? Not really. No particularly useful resources. Syria is not really any better. Can't take Basra. Hale has some oil. And is decent size, but it also results in a very ugly border. But I think I could live with that. Though, you know, taking Lebanon does just kind of sound like fun anyway. If I could take Palestine, I'd probably take that just for Jerusalem, for the hell of it. What do I want? I think I want the oil, to be honest. I don't care if it'll result in some serious border gore. We're gonna take Hale. Or we won't. Am I reading that wrong? No, the region is Hale. Ah, damn it. Hale's not a... It's not a colony either. Okay, fine. We'll take Lebanon then. Who can I call in? I can call in literally just the Kingdom of Matra and the US. I don't really need the US's help. Sure, I'll call in Greece and the Kingdom of Matra, but and again, I don't really need their help, but I'll do it anyway, because why not? And you did decide to invite Italy. Which is just kind of a stupid thing for you to do. Well, not for you, but more so it's a stupid thing for Italy to actually join. Because, yeah, they're gonna lose that. You go there and you kill Moldavia, and you know what? You go ahead and deal with that. Oh, we can pass a new law. Social reform, and it would be a little... Well, in theory, I could wait and get a political reform. Guys, I can't pass a... It's so stupid how that works. I'll be honest. If I can't pass a political reform, people shouldn't complain about me passing a social reform. So, acceptable school system. Actually, okay, so there's a little bit of complaints from the suffrage movement because they want wealth-weighted voting. They're going to be out of luck on that. How radical are they, out of curiosity? Wealth-weighted voting. I assume nobody... 31 out of I don't know how many points, so they'll go up to 36. But I still kind of want to see if we can manage to hit... I still want to see if we can potentially manage to hit 100% literacy. I don't think we do. We have a little less than 10 years. Or technically a little over 10 years, actually, right now, more accurately. So there's an acceptable school system. That's what the people want. It's the technically second highest policy that I can propose, or enact, rather. Here's our timer. Did Italy just try to attack me? I think Italy did. Or they have mobilized and some of their troops, some of those mobilized troops popped up. That might have actually been it. They might have mobilized and some of those troops got pulled up. That would make the most sense, I think. Fight the disease. We got plenty of money, guys. Let's spend the damn money to deal with the disease. There is literally no reason for us not to. Okay, I'm going to bring some more armies down here. To deal with this issue a little bit faster. If I move you... That'll open up a hole in their front line. Actually, no matter who I move, it will have an opening in our front line. I would need to get to here, Massa, and occupy that to separate the northern part of Italy that's held by Italy and the southern part of Italy that's held by Italy. So technically it's really dividing central Italy and northern Italy. That would probably be the best way to deal with that. The reality is this war should actually end fairly quickly. Like, I shouldn't even have to occupy the territory I want to take. I just kind of got to beat the crap out of Italy enough. Oof, shit, they're dogpiling us here. Okay. Was not expecting them to dogpile me there. Oh shit, that is not going well. I expected that to go better than that, but apparently I was wrong. But there we go, I can already go ahead and take Lebanon. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get Lebanon. Thank you, that's a territory that I will do literally nothing with, ever. Because it's far too late in the game for me to do anything with it, but hey, I own Lebanon now. I assume your issue is you don't have actual artillery, so you're not getting the benefit of having a good artillery ratio, so I would still actually have to give you artillery. Wow, you didn't even... Wow, the Ottomans have not built railroads in much of the Middle East. That would explain why they probably have some issues, for one thing. Yeah, they have done a piss-poor job of building up their infrastructure. It's also very outdated. I'm seeing a lot of level 1 and 2 railroads. A couple of level 4s here in Thrace. But outside of that, it looks to be pretty much all level 1s and a couple 2s. And some in the process of going 1 to 2, but oof, oh boy, it's bad. Let's wait for our troops to get back into their position and we'll end the part. Okay, everybody looks to be in position. So that is going to be it for this part. Next part we will continue on. We are down to 9 years left. So assuming we were, what? There was 11 years left when we started. So that should have been 1925. I think it was January 1925 when I loaded the save. So we got through about 2 years. Yeah, a little over 2 years. In theory, we should be able to get through roughly 2 to 3 apart. And so with 9 more years, in theory, we're looking at probably about 3 more parts. Again, the reality is, though, this game is effectively done, so I will probably play on faster speeds for the next couple of parts just to finish it off, because we're done. Realistically speaking, we are done. I just kind of want to let the game run to the very end screen so we can actually say we're done. How are those Russian communists doing? They seem to be doing still pretty good, particularly out to the east, but yeah, their uprisings in... Ooh, now we have Lithuanian nationalists, apparently, in Western Russia. Let me go ahead and save. So that is going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will be continuing off, just kind of effectively really just running through the motions to finish off the series. But until next time, goodbye and farewell, and a quick reminder that I do have a Discord and a Patreon, both linked down in the description below. I highly recommend joining the Discord, and if you enjoy the content, it is appreciated if you can spare $1 or whatever a month, whatever you feel like sparing, to go and become a patron. That helps the channel out, especially if more people do it. It's not a requirement though, of course, but again, it does help the channel out because it allows me to have something to be able to have money coming in for the sole purpose of dedicating to the channel. Whether that be buying games, buying hardware, buying software, whatever the case may be. But yes, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time. But until then, a goodbye and farewell.